Good morning. Michelle.
Morning, Jeanie. We're back.
Yeah, finally. Sorry.
We both kind of had a dark night of the soul for the last week and a half, so
Yeah.
a lot of clearing.
A lot of clearing. Still going on. So on the physical end, but the emotional is much better. Yeah, it was pretty harsh. So I needed to do a little sabbatical and kind of go within and figure out what's what, and so I can move forward.
We're practicing what we preached, so kind of like if you don't listen, your body's gonna make you, and it did.
It did. Oh, did it ever. And so that's why we've got Nourish the Temple. Soaking a bath for self-care.
There you go.
So yeah, it's definitely.
I think start with those then.
Yeah, well, there you go. So yeah, these are.
Girl, what's the reading? Oh, welcome to Limitless-Healing-Angels. Weekly reading for January 23rd to the 30th. I did it. Give me 5. Come on. I did it.
Yes. So the 23rd to the 30th for the week, and because I think you said that. I don't know.
Yes, I did.
I was laughing too hard. But and
I
so,
screw it up every time. So when I get it, it's a positive thing.
Welcome to Cards, Coffee, and Cosmic Community.
And water.
And self-care. So we're going to start out today with, we got a lot of great cards. Spirit's been really present with us today. This is, it has been a trying couple of weeks for us. I mean, ooh, kitten. It's been a trying couple of weeks for us. And I'm sure for all of you too. There's a lot of shifting going on. There's a lot of, releasing of the old and allowing the new energies to come in on a personal level and a social level, political levels, like all around. Just worldwide, people have been dealing with the same issues or similar issues. And so, but it's very important for you to nourish your temple. Your body is, how you connect to this world, but it also helps us to connect to spirit. And so you have to honor that. It's so important to do that. And it's through just being mindful, being connected to you, listening to messages that your body tells you, that whether it's screaming at you from the toilet or just you're writhing in pain or whatever. I'm exaggerating, but it can get that bad. I mean,
mine was I needed to detox and I wouldn't do it. So my body literally gave me sores on top of my mouth, so I couldn't eat solid food.
Yeah.
So then guess what? I had to do a juice cleanse because that's all I could eat.
We kept getting messages to fast, and neither one of us had the discipline to fast. And so, because there was so much other stuff going on, we kept staying in our emotions and eating all kinds of stuff that wasn't good for us. And then bodies forced us to do just that, And so it was just, the universe is like, your higher self is like, listen up or else, So
the or else part sucks sometimes, so listen before you get to the or else part.
Yeah, so it's important for your spiritual, mental, and physical, well-being to do things that are good for you. So like acupuncture, soaking in a hot bath, massage therapy, all of the above if you can. But it's just important for you to make sure that you spend time listening to what your body needs, exercise, stretch, just being outside in the sun and soaking that in, bring up your vitamin D and, just try to be consciously aware of what's going on, and try not to fight it. You might be consciously aware like we were, like, hey, we need to do fasting. We were both talking about that amongst each other. And before you know it, it's like, we should have listened. We should have acted on it.
We should have done it before.
We listened. We didn't act on it.
Yeah. And then we had to. So, sometimes it's like you got to get knocked upside the head to listen. And
I'm very stubborn. Unfortunately.
So am I.
I've learned to be a lot better over the years, but I still have moments where, my higher self is probably like, well, you cut it out, Listen to me. So
exactly.
Yep.
So I think where we're going next is playtime. So the dolphin know the importance of playing as joy creates miracles and manifestation. So, it's important to do that self-care and, the relaxing and stuff. And you have to throw some play in there. Like I was telling her when we were going through all this, get connected to that inner child. Have that play. We forget as adults how important it is to play and how much fun. I mean, just like I already said, and I didn't tell you this yet. If it rains tomorrow, I'm dancing in the rain.
Oh,
Because
I love doing that.
Right?
And
I'm
I haven't done
gonna
it in
splash
years.
in a mud puddle if there's mud puddles, and I'm gonna play in the mud, and I'm gonna play in the rain. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. If it
I'm
rains.
fine with that. I
So,
love doing that.
I'm like, get back into play, and then just like Tony and I and like Rose, and we're having a game night tonight because I'm like, we're doing a game night because you just get all fun and you're laughing and you're having fun. No phones, no TV, games, board games, not video games.
Yep.
Board games. Back to spending time together and having that.
Yeah, and that's I used to do a lot more, and I just kind of got so stuck in my head. I have a tendency to do that, and so I've been pulling myself out of my head and my head out of my ass and getting together and doing what I need to do to better myself, to find joy again, to reopen the parts of my heart that were still shut, and to do things, to live life and enjoy it, because time goes by so fast. It's so fleeting, and you don't realize, I mean, we're in 2021. I never ever, like, that was such a faraway
and
thought when I was younger.
Almost gone. Like, what the hell?
Like, well, I believe that a huge part of us, we're manifesting that. The more we say it, the more it happens, the more it speeds up. I believe that, because there's so many people that say the same thing. It's just becoming the reality that time is speeding up. But it unnerves me, because when you were young, you didn't think like you'd be living in the 2020s, for crying out loud. That seemed like it was, outer space,
Eons
sci-fi
ago,
stuff.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, holy crap, it's 2021. Like,
Yep.
I thought I'd be like long, old, like ancient, old, gone, at that point in time. But so, speaking of the inner child, so when this card came out, I've never had this card before, and it's the Cosmic Journey Oracle from Yannick Silver, and I love this deck so much. This is your 111-year-old self, but I saw your 11-year-old self, and that was the message that she gave me the other day, was get into your inner child and start having fun and release it, and so that I literally saw, like, I had to look at that 3 times before I saw the 111-year-old. So I looked in the book, and there is an 11-year-old child card. So I looked up the meaning for that, and I went through everything. For me, the message is get back, speak to your inner child, get in connection with it, find out what you've forgotten, what you missed, what you loved. Is there anything that's preventing you from opening your heart fully? Because that's one of my issues, is trusting that I'm safe and secure and opening my heart fully to the love that's around me, to the joy that's around me. So I'm going to do that meditation later. The 111-year-old self is about contacting your future self. What did you learn? What did you enjoy from life? What did you do you have any regrets? What do you miss? It's about connecting to different levels of the self this week, and being able to find joy, find spaces, find the things that are preventing you from having open spaces, so that you can experience joy and love on levels that you haven't before, or that you have and you've forgotten how to do.
And I feel like you need to tap into the wisdom of your 111-year-old self, because when you're at that age, or even if it's into the ancestors and stuff, tap into that wisdom, because there's so much knowledge there for you, and they can show you how to play and have fun, and they can basically show you where to lighten the heck up.
Show you the path that they took to get to where they are, or a path that you could take that maybe they didn't choose.
Well, then I'm going with this one. It's the horse. I just love this card. Care for others and let them be free. So this horse, you see the unicorn over here, it's like it's lighting up your third eye, and then you are helping the child, and I kind of feel like that's your inner child, helping your inner child. There you go with the play again. So it's helping you get back into your inner child and be who you truly are, because as kids, we know what we want. We use our imagination. We dream like nothing is impossible. And as adults, we're trained out of that. Stop using your imagination. Sit down, shut up, blah, 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 blah. So you've got to tap back into that inner child and be free to dream, to use your imagination. The world, you have endless possibilities.
Well, there's magic all around you. And I didn't grow up around horses. I grew up in a city. I'd only been around horses a few times in my life, and for, just the kind that, like a friend had one that I'd go visit once in a while or whatever, or at fairs and stuff where you'd get the kiddie rides and stuff like that. So I never really got to experience what it's like to be around horses till I, lived here. And so meeting Jeanie, and she's grew up with horses. She knows everything about them, but just sitting there and watching her horses or going over and watching them, I mean, they're such big creatures and they're so majestic and noble, and the way they carry themselves. But then they'll just get like just a bug up their butt and start flitting around all over the place and kicking and rolling. And I'm thinking,
because they love to play.
Because they love to play. I've learned a great deal from just the horses, just watching them, and that they can be present and majestic and be that mature wisdom, have that wisdom and portray it out to the world, but then they can just have fun at the drop of a hat.
Oh yeah, the 20-year-old, he may be 21, but he's like, I feel frisky, I'm gonna buck and kick and run around and like, ha!
He's on his back rolling around, kicking his legs up or jumping around, and I'm like, oh my God, like, I want to be like that.
Yeah, and we have the 15-year-old cat. I swear to God, in the middle of the night, sometimes she's chasing her tail. I'm like, are you a kitten? Like, what is wrong with you? But even the cat knows to play and have fun. Like, she's like, I'm like,
but like you said, we're trained out of that. We're trained that you've got to be the mother, you've got to be responsible, you've got to be. You got to
earn the money, you got to be the...
All the burdens go right here, hence the shoulder pains.
Yep.
Yeah. So all that neck, shoulder, back issues come up from
Carry
that.
the weight of the world on your shoulders.
You don't need to do that.
No.
You can do that without the burden. It doesn't have to be burdensome. It can be fun and lighthearted, and you can still do things that you enjoy and love. If you have the mindset that it's burdensome, whatever you're doing is going to be burdensome.
Right.
And you can bring love and joy to that and experience it from a different perspective, and then everything around you changes. I can speak from experience.
Yep, exactly.
So, yep. So, these, I think this one's next.
I was gonna say,
I really want, this one keeps calling to me. Well, they both are, but this one's screaming it louder. So this one is see through the perfect purple lenses of your galactic destiny. And simply what that means is, purple is a very spiritual color. Religions all over the world use it for that. Spiritual belief systems, they hold that as a high frequency energy. And so it's a very spiritual, it has a very connectedness to it, energy. This allows you to see things, messages. So if you start, both of us, when this came up, I was floored because yesterday, I think it started yesterday really, people were pointing out purple, like around me to other people, not directly to me. But so my head would get pulled and I'd be like, oh, that's a message for me. And then this card comes out with this same exact message. So it's to realize that you have to connect more to your spiritual side. Spirit's calling you, trying to ignite a fire in you. So connect with them. It's important to do that.
Yeah, and like I told her, I've been so drawn to purple for the last several days. Like, I mean, my favorite color is blue, and I really love pink, but purple has just been calling me, like...
That's a nice combination of the both.
There you go.
My favorite color.
and I feel like try to see from a different perspective. Try to look through Source's eyes, because, God, Source, whatever you want to call it. Try to look through their eyes. God's not judgmental. He doesn't judge people. He doesn't, punish people. He's a neutral... he or she is a neutral party, so try to step back and look at things from that kind of perspective, from a neutral space. And then I feel these two popped out together, which basically has the same message, just different ways. So this one says music. Listen carefully, for there may be a message in the music you hear. Music can lift your soul, kindle memories, and charm fairies to your door. So that's more about the play. And you play some music. There you go, play music. Michelle got me a singing bowl for Christmas, and I love playing that, and I love like the wind chimes, and and I play music at night just to get my mind off of stuff and go to sleep. So, and a lot of times there'll be music pop in your head anywhere, just like something. Well, mine always is, "Don't worry, be happier," something like that. So, just whatever pops in your mind, listen to the message that's coming up.
Mm-hmm. If you find yourself wanting to hum or starting to hum, don't silence yourself. Don't stop yourself. Just do it. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe you're channeling something, healing energy for somebody else. Maybe they need to get a piece of that love and joy that you're experiencing. Express it so they can hear it and you can hear it.
Yeah,
because it raises your vibe too.
I was in I think I was in the store or something the other day, and the lady was humming. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that. And she just smiled and kept going. But I was like, hey, that's my sign to keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're getting frustrated or something, start humming, because that'll raise your vibration.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this one is nature's signs. Be receptive to the subtle messages from nature as you go about your day. Nature talks to you continuously. We need to only open our hearts and our minds. And this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, my favorite color, blue. And again, listen to what nature has to give you, but also speak your truth, because we do have to speak our truth. And that's been a message for us with this whole week is we've got to learn to speak up for ourselves from love.
Oh my God. So my daughter goes outside this morning, and it had rained a little bit last night. A little bit. And she comes inside and she said, Mom, you got to understand where we live. It's pretty much open. It's just dirt everywhere, right? So she comes in and she says, there's this one patch of ground out here that wasn't rained on. It's like the rain went all around it except for that one patch. So I'm standing in the kitchen and I realize, I'm looking out the window and I can see it. It looks like a whale, like kind of diving. So it's at an angle, like twisted. And I thought, that's odd. And then, I'm like right there in my logic mind as usual. And she sends me spiritual meaning. So then I look it up again for myself, and it's all about communicating, because whales are all about communication and family and, expressing themselves and how they can reach, great distances with their voice, essentially, their mode of communication. So then her and I thought, okay, it's time, for me to really kind of get into this more. And so I'll be working on that this week. And we're sitting here talking before, we pulled the cards and we're sitting here talking about stuff. And as I'm talking, I'm not a big cloud reader. Like, I can't usually see pictures and stuff like that. I can't. On occasion, when I'm meant to see it, it'll show itself to me. So we're sitting here talking and I look up and there's a cloud right there. Same exact shape. I was just dumbfounded. And so twice this morning, within a few hours, I've gotten the same message. So it's imperative to communicate this week through love.
Yep.
Learn to express yourself in a loving manner and express love to yourself. Tell yourself how wonderful you are, how much you love yourself and you value yourself, and that you value your experience here on this world. You're here for a purpose. And even if that purpose is just to bring love and light into that little area that you're in, then so be it. If it's meant to be bigger, it is.
Yep.
It'll be what it's supposed to be. But it's not going to be anything unless you learn to express it. So this is Thunder Drum, and it's just that. It's about shouting, making a lot of noise, getting your voice out there, communicating passionately. Thunder's loud and it's energy, and it wants you to not be obnoxious about it. It's about an inner power and inner strength, and just allowing your message to come out. And that message should be brought from the eagle medicine, through wisdom, the wisdom of your higher self, of ancestors, of your elders. Spread that wisdom out into the world and allow it to come through you as a channel, a clear channel of positive, loving communication.
And then I have the Alpha Dragon, which says, harnesses the divine masculine power of creation. Destroy the old, visualize your dream, and help to manifest a new world. So use some of these tools, the drumming, the chanting, whatever works for you. If you need to go outside or inside so your neighbors don't freak out, and just scream to let the steam out, let it go, do that. And then, embrace the new.
Yep. And the drumming's great for raising your vibration and for opening up any blocks that you have in yourself. There's a lot of great drumming music and soundtracks on YouTube, a lot of different, social media networks and things. And I use them a lot. If I'm just kind of resting or if I'm doing homework and I'm kind of there, that helps me to open up my channels and get myself going again and remove any blocks that are there. So this, to end your week, is the Buddha Prepares. And this could also, for some of you, be beginning of the week. So preparing for all these steps as it comes out. But it's about being reflective and meditating about what you really want for this next year, for the rest of your life. It's got a heavy, I don't want to say a heavy energy, but it's got importance behind it. It's definitely got that, it's definitely got that potency behind it where you can sit and reflect, but it's a long-term thing. I keep feeling this lengthiness. So it's a long-term, it's not a short goal.
Well, you can see that he's lit up his heart and his third eye and kind of like all of his upper chakras, so he's connecting, and now is the time, because there's a lot of big changes going on this year. So now is the time to prepare, reflect, let go of all the old, because we have to, as light workers, we need to prepare for the changes that are coming, so that we are ready and centered.
Part of that card is, if you can see in the background, there's a lot of other people with the similar, their auric fields are kind of raised, and the light, they're shining their light outward. So it's almost that ripple effect. It's you do it, somebody else do it, and it just keep going, because the world needs the light right now. And so this is important for everybody to be doing that. And as a global community, we can do that on a daily basis.
Yep. And then the last card is hope. Hope is always there, even if you can't see it. Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. And this is a beautiful card, and of course I was drawn to the purple because I've been drawn to the purple. And she's sitting there staring at the rainbow and the dove flying over. And to me, dove symbolizes peace. So there's hope, and she's looking right there at the peace, because she's becoming at one with herself, and she's in peace. And then she's holding this pink rose down here. So she's, filling up her heart space and coming into a place of peace and joy.
That's gorgeous. Yeah, I love that one. And the rainbow. There's just such a light energy there. I just keep hearing that crystalline energy. There's just such a light energy and prisms. So if you guys, I keep seeing the prisms around the eyes. So as you're ascending, you're going to start having different ascension symptoms. There's going to be a lot of different energies coming onto the planet and into us. So as you're experiencing those things, just don't freak out. That's just to find peace in that, to know that your energy is coming up, that you're raising the vibration within yourself and around you.
Embrace it.
Embrace it, yeah. Find peace within that. So I guess that's important. I think there's going to be a lot more of those energies coming in this year, and I keep feeling like a great number of us are going to be raising our vibrations and changing our frequencies. And so as it comes in, whether you're receiving that through numbers, or you're receiving that through the signs from nature, you're receiving that from just the energies, or a combination. I experience a combination of things.
Yeah, me too.
So, and you may, along your journey, but just find peace in it. If it's happening, try to embrace it and just allow the changes to happen.
And one person full of light is more powerful than hundreds of non-lightful people. So just remember, every time you lift your light up, it has a ripple effect into the whole universe.
So you have a blessed week.
Love and light. Ah!